Uh, what's up, y'all? Um, I'm sorry. I just got finished uh watching something that that touched me. Um, so I've tried to make this video quite a few times, but after seeing what I've just seen, and I will, I will make it available for those of you to see it as well. Um, I think I think I can now finally say what I've been trying to say in a more clear way. Um, my mind has kind of been cleared by this. There was kind of a logjam up there, but I think I can finally now express my thoughts adequately. And it deals with the entire. It deals with the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, I think we all need to stop and evaluate um, why we're in the movement, why we've chosen to be a part of it. I think that's an important thing for us to do now. Um, I've noticed that a lot of people are in it for a lot of different things, and that manifests itself in a lot of different ways. Um, Now, I'm not running the movement into the ground. I think the movement should continue to move, and I think it should continue to move strongly. Um, However, I think it needs to start moving in a different way. I've seen a lot of aggression um, in the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, and quite honestly, most of the aggression that I've seen is not outside of it, but inside of it. I've seen a lot of aggression in the movement itself. Now, it's very hard for us to kind of shine a light. It's very easy for us, rather. It's very easy for us to kind of shine a light on the aggression against it, but I don't think we spend enough time truly thinking about the poisonous aggression that exists within it. If if you truly understand what you're saying when you say that Black life matters, that Black lives matter, then the All Lives Matter movement shouldn't scare you. You shouldn't see it as opposite of you. You shouldn't see it as the enemy movement, the rival gang, perhaps. Rather, you should see it as someone who is in support of you. Now, a lot of times it will not be, a lot of times that response is kind of in response to your having said it. A lot of times it is fighting fire with fire, but when you talk about two people on both sides of that argument who truly understand the argument, they both understand that there is no argument. You know, we talk a lot about Martin Luther King. We talk about the man that he was, and he was an incredible man. And it's because I know how incredible of a man he was. Not saying that you don't, but because I personally know how incredible he was. I mean, how incredible he is personally to me, just in my own life. It saddens me to hear how we remember him, because we don't I don't believe that we remember him the way he ought to be remembered. We so often remember him as the man who fought for the rights of blacks. He was so much more than that. He was a man who fought for true equality. As a matter of fact, I'd go as far as to even say that he was a man who fought for the furthering of the ministry of reconciliation that we see when we look at 2 Corinthians 5. When Paul talks about the ministry of reconciliation, when he talks about how God, through Christ, is reconciling the world to himself. That's what Dr. King was about. And right before we truly began to understand that, he died. Let me rephrase that. He was killed. And so now, because he wasn't there to truly speak for himself, now we turn his legacy into he fought for the rights of blacks. And we turned his legacy into something that it wasn't truly, that it was not. And we miss the mark when we remember Dr. King and who he was and what he fought for. And subsequently, we miss the point of the Black Lives Matter movement. Those folks who say all life matters, they're not your enemies. They are not your enemies. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood enemies. That's reason number one. But reason number two, these are people who, some of them, understand that when they say all life matters, that encompasses black life. They are not disagreeing with you. I think we just really need to all sit down and do some honest, gut level soul searching about what it is that we expect to get out of this movement. Me personally, I am a part of the Black Lives Matter movement because I want people to understand that I am not their enemy. I don't want to come off as aggressive with it. I want for there to be understanding. Proverbs 4 says, in all of your getting, get understanding. That's something that my father says to me all the time. And it's only as I get older that I begin to understand what he means by that. The fact that there is a divide is not truly due to the system that is in place. The system that is in place only furthers that divide. The fact that there is such a divide in this country is due to the fact that we don't take the time to truly stop and try to understand each other. I believe that understanding is truly the key to bridging the gap that is between us. And along the way, I have met a lot of people who are truly willing to bridge the gap, that are willing to admit that, you know what, Doc, I don't understand what it is that you go through as a black man in this country. And then I have the responsibility of looking at them and saying, you know what, I don't understand what you go through as a white person in this country. And it's at the admittance of a lack of understanding that true understanding begins. And it's where there is an environment of true understanding that there can be true building of relationship. And where there is a true building of relationship, there is reconciliation. And that is the point. That is the entire point. And the longer we duck understanding, the longer we choose to remain ignorant to those who look different than us, the further we perpetrate the differences that are between us. And I know I've gone long with this. I know that I've gone kind of ad nauseum. This video has broken 10 minutes. I understand that, but it's just, this is too important to understate. So if you're really about it, if you're really about seeing change, if you're really about seeing bridges be gapped, reach out. Be willing to be wrong. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for listening.